You are listening to Joygasm, video game and movie podcast. I'm Russ, Xbox Live Toaster 360. He's Steve, Xbox Live Stevavitch. And we wish you a happy Valentine's Day in episode 160 today, February 14th, 2020. We are going to have a bit of a shorter podcast episode this time. We are going to go right into talking about our topic of the day, which this week is the announcement of 31st Union, which used to be called 2K Silicon Valley. And this is the place that I have been working at. So I thought it'd be fun to be able to give all of you a bit of an insider's observation as to what went on during the big day. And I could not think of anyone else to be able to interview me about that than Steve, my brother from the same mother. So I assume that Steve has a list of cuestiones for me. A list of preguntas, perhaps?
Why don't you tell us about the big announcement day, Russ?
To give everybody a bit of a backstory, this particular studio got started when Michael Condrey was actually in talks with 2K Games. He was interested in starting up a new studio after having left Sledgehammer Games, which he co-founded. And so for the past year in 2019, they have been in stealth mode this entire time, kind of getting everything started and situated, that sort of thing, and slowly but surely building up the core team. And eventually what had happened was they decided to pick a certain time when they would just announce what the official name was going to be. There were a lot of talks and back and forth, that sort of thing, a lot of decision making, so to speak. But they decided to choose a specific day, which actually fell right on their 1-year anniversary of the studio existing, which is just actually a really terrific thing. And so we decided we wanted to coordinate a launch of our official website, as well as getting the word out, so to speak, and be able to celebrate here in the studio.
Well, if anybody needs a life check, just check out what's his name, Michael Condrey.
Yes, Michael Condrey. He is our fearless leader.
Yeah, I was Wikipedia-ing him a little while ago. And he had his soft beginnings and then shot right up to the moon. So I think you got maybe some good leadership there, Russ.
Yes, I would say we have exceptional leadership. And it's actually not just from him, but also with a lot of the senior folks here who have worked with Michael over the decades. It really is an exciting and humbling type of opportunity that I have, just because, you have people who have worked on the Dead Space series. You have a lot of folks who worked over at Sledgehammer, who worked on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, as well as Call of Duty World War II. And so that notwithstanding, there are also folks who worked on Mortal Kombat 11 who are here, as well as folks who've come from EA. There's just a really interesting mix of video game veterans that make up this studio. And we're still going through really aggressive hiring. They're going to be, I think, in a hiring phase here for the foreseeable future.
So the talent, so you had mentioned to me beforehand that you were taking some video of everybody and putting it on the front banner of the webpage and the Facebook. Who are some of the faces that what we see in there?
In terms of the team picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are quite a few folks on there. I don't have the picture in front of me, but
well, I mean, like you took video. You see people talking. You see people waving at the screen. You see you actually talking to somebody, but
yeah. So, okay. So in the video, so I guess I should back up a little bit. If you go to 31stunion.com, which, by the way, the 31st is spelled out in words. It's not the numerical version of that.
Because I think that's a restaurant.
It is. You know, it's really funny. The restaurant is actually pretty close to where our studio is located too. It's pretty funny. But yeah, the website itself is 31stunion.com. And the thing that you're met with when you go to the homepage is this looping video. And that I actually created that video for the website. That's our curbside appeal. And so I wanted to offer a bit of a glimpse into the culture, who all is working here, the vibe of the place, and it's designed to be kind of like a 17-second or 20-second loop. And you have some really neat people in there. I'm trying to think of like how I had the whole thing set up, but I think the first, if I'm not mistaken, you know what? Okay, well, this is not going to be in any particular order, but you have people like CJ, who he has a background in feature films. You know, you have Alejandro, who I know he's toward the end. You have this like magnificent sunset behind him. From San Francisco, and he's an art director. He actually worked at Sledgehammer, and he actually worked at Crystal Dynamics before coming over here and joining us. We have, my goodness, so many people. There, just it would take me quite a while to kind of explain everybody who's in the video, but you have people from various backgrounds, whether they're animators or character riggers or folks who are in sound design or art direction or producing. There's an absolute ton of talent here.
One of the videos that I saw on the Facebook, which I'm guessing the Facebook just launched also, because I am one of 47 people who like the Facebook page. Looks like a bunch of swag bags were handed out. Well, what did you get in the swag bag?
Yes. Okay. So this is really fun. So the day of when we made all these announcements public, it was really neat. The studio heads decided that they wanted to do something nice for all of the staff, and so they had this kind of dev team swag bag of sorts. So it to give you an idea, there's a duffel bag. And on the duffel bag, on one side you have the bear, which is like our mascot for the studio, and then the other side has the kind of a vertical version of the logo. And then in the duffel bag itself, we got dev team t-shirts. We got a real sharp looking coffee mug that has the bear mascot on one side and then the company name on the other. We received a nice diary that has kind of an embossed bear mascot logo on the front of it, as well as the pin. There's a pin that comes with it. And, you know, those are actually really nice because of I really like the elastic band. I don't know if you've seen those before, but like when you're not using it, there's just like this nice little band that like just keeps the book shut. I don't know. It's just a nice little addition there. But they also had this little nifty. It's like a card holder that it sticks to the back of your phone. So like if you want to hold your credit cards in there, or you want to have business cards or whatever else, you know, there's like a slot. And then on the exterior side of it also has the studio logo. And they also gave us this really neat power supply thing. It's like you charge it up and then it almost acts as kind of like a battery that you can, you know, if your laptop's getting low when you're on the go, or your phone's getting low or whatever it is, it's a multi-purpose, like, portable battery that acts almost like a power supply. Was, you know, just it's pretty cool. And it says 31st Union across the side of that. A hat. Love the hat. The hat is very sharp. I will be wearing that hat probably when you see me when I come home this weekend back to good old Texas. So you'll be able to check that out. I'm trying to think of what else. They had a bunch of little fun knick-knack type of stuff like lanyards and stickers. We got Steve, I got you a magnet. You're going to have yourself a 31st Union magnet.
Can't get enough magnets.
I know. And I don't even know if you have any magnets on your fridge. Do you have any magnets?
I do, but they're all chip clip magnets.
Oh, well, this one will not be. You'll be able to represent, so to speak.
Totally not sponsored by Chip Clip, by the way. So the company has said they're also making a branch in Spain. Why Spain, and what's going to happen in Spain? Are they just going to be like an extra arm, or are they going to be like a separate 2K studio, 31st Union Spain? Like what's going on there?
So that's just a part of the natural expansion of the overall studio. It's going to be part of 31st Union, and that actually kind of goes in line with what I mentioned earlier, which is that we're currently going through kind of like what Heath Ledger's Joker said is aggressive expansion. And it's really exciting because the studio has plans in motion to truly become international. So we're going to have parts of our team that are going to be over there. We're going to have parts of our team that are going to be here in San Francisco. So that is going to allow us to have kind of around the clock work on the game itself. And that's a very exciting thing. You know, one of the things I forgot to mention, did you want me to go into just kind of what events transpired during the 1 year anniversary day?
Well, yeah, go. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure the day was filled with hardly any work, but tons of revelry.
You are absolutely correct. It was really fun to be able to walk in, and they had completely decked out the studio with all the brand new logos and just the branding that I had been working on. That's part of my job here is creating a lot of the branding and marketing assets. And so it was almost like being a parent during Christmas time, because I had kind of the inside track as to what a lot of this stuff was going to be. Because I worked on it. And so it was fun to see the looks on everybody's faces who hadn't seen anything yet, or maybe they saw a little bit, but not very much. And it was a very rewarding experience. But when we got in, they had mimosas waiting for everybody. They had catered breakfast, which was a lot of fun. And they also had a catered lunch for everybody. They were, Mr. Condry got hooked up with some awesome movie choices because we had a kind of a movie day here at the studio. And so we ended up watching Knives Out, actually, which was great because I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. And so that was a fun little flick to check out. They had also created these really neat posters with our 31st Union logo on there, and they had brought a bunch of Sharpies that were just, they're like black and white, silver, gold. And so they had all the dev team sign their name on these posters, and they're going to get them framed and hang them up around the studio, which I think was really classy. I think it was really, really cool. And of course, the swag bags were also a lot of fun. And then we ended up doing this fun thing, that we had been doing for the past month, which they call it a game jam. And it's where people can actually kind of buddy up with different people in the studio and come up with different concepts that might be fun for the game. And they turned it into something fun where you can have this competition. It was a contest complete with judges, and whoever had the best type of idea ended up winning some sort of fun prizes. And so it was a fun opportunity to be able to just think outside the box. Maybe if you had a concept or an idea you wanted to explore and be able to have time in the office to do so, then this was your opportunity. And it was just a blast for me personally, because I had my camera with me, and I just captured a ton of footage during the day. One of the things that was also really neat was that the president of 2K Games came and visited us for like half the day, and was there when we had a toast. It was really nice. They had gotten these pretty fancy schmancy looking champagne glasses, but they're the kind that don't have the stem. So like you place it kind of just the bottom of the glass, just like you can set that right on the table. I don't know if that's called like
it's a Dixie cup. It's a Dixie cup, Russ.
Is that what it's called?
No, I'm just kidding.
Or a shoot or something. A flute. I don't know. There's a name for it, and I've totally forgotten like the correct term for it. But Anyway, it was really cool because they had 31st Union, like our logo, vertically placed on all of the champagne glasses. So each member of the dev team was able to keep one and take it home with them. And that was a lot of fun. And it was great, too, just to be able to hear the leadership offer some words of encouragement and celebration. And so it was nice for everybody just to take a break for a day and celebrate the fact that the studio has turned 1 year old, and seeing all the progress that's been made and seeing the support of everybody. It was a really, really cool day. I was on this natural high by the time I made my way home.
Well, sweet. So they give you any goals as far as like stuff's got to be done by E3, or can you give us any niblets?
Any niblets for your giblets? I can't. My lips are sealed on that. Unfortunately, I'm not able to comment on that. The gist of what I can say is that it is looking really, really good. I think that, and I'm not just saying that because I work here. I have been following it since I've been here about 6 weeks now, and
whatever it is, everyone's really excited.
This game, I'm telling you, it has massive potential. It's amazing how every time we do a play test and we're checking things out, my goodness, it gets more impressive almost on a daily basis. And I'm like, we had a play test today, and a bunch of different assets and stuff got checked in, and I was just like, wow. Okay, it looks even better than last time. That's whoa. Okay, this is awesome.
So, amidst all the announcements, did you just raise your glass and automatically announce that Joygasm's going to release all the news headlines? And then everybody's like, "What? Yeah!" You're like, "Yes, score."
Yes, score exactly. I'm gonna have to see. There is some interest from some of the leadership here, where they actually want me to do a presentation based on Joygasm itself here in the office. Just in terms of like the platform of doing a podcast, and so I don't know. We will have to see. I'm hoping that perhaps I'll be able to get some of the folks who I work with here as special guests on the program. I think it'd be awesome to have them be on Joygasm and be able to interview them in terms of like just what their career is like, and be able to learn more about just who they are. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Well, if they want me to come down, and record a show right down there, I can only sign 20 autographs, Russ. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh, that's good to know.
I can't be spending all my time talking to people if I'm just going to be talking to you,
That's very true. You are a man in demand, for sure.
I'll be sure, speaking of which, I'll be sure to wear my best bald head wax that day, if it ever comes.
Woo! Now you know I like that. But before we go any further, I just want to wish you a happy birthday again, because I know that the listeners out there may not understand the fact that your birthday happened about 3 days ago. Is that right?
Yeah, it was on Tuesday.
Yeah. So a very once again a happy birthday.
And it was happy indeed. Thank you very much. But I am very fond of my 30s, and I'm not wanting to leave them, Russ.
I understand. I completely understand that. I remember when I was 39, and I think I made the analogy of like how I'm basically on the front porch of the house that is 40, and people are inviting me to come up, and I don't want to come up, and they ended up picking me up against my will, and now I'm in the house party that is 40s.
You come in with a flat top haircut, everyone's like, he's definitely 40. Yeah, he's definitely welcome. Flat tops are welcome here.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in the next house, but in this house they are.
Oh my goodness. Good times.
Oh.
Nothing like changing decades to keep you humble.
So what about you, Russ? Because we haven't caught up with each other in like a month. Every time we get on a podcast, it seems like we're just talking about one thing. I don't even know what you've been watching or playing. I know you had your Xbox over there. What is going on with you?
Well, honestly, I haven't had time to really play anything. I've been out of sorts. I know that over the last few episodes, I've talked about how I haven't had access or proper access to my systems, and so that's really limited my ability. But like I said, I watched Knives Out at the party, and so that was cool. I was able to watch something at that point in time, but the main thing is that due to the sheer amount of work that was needed to make sure that this launch happened, I was helping out with all of the social media assets and the marketing assets, as well as the website launch, among other kind of daily responsibilities and action items for the game itself. And so I was coming to work and then staying here until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And then by that point, I'm starving for dinner, and I kind of have to get something to eat and go to bed and then rinse and repeat the next day. But I think that's also worth mentioning too, is a job like this is like a dream job for me. It's amazing how I just completely lose track of time because I'm having such a blast at my job, and it challenges me in various creative ways. And I think it's wonderful to be able to have people like Lawrence, who's the art director, as well as Michael Condrey, and many other people too, who, I just feed off the creative talent and the desire to want to make the best possible product. And so it's a far cry from, say, other types of jobs that I've had where I go in, I enjoy the job, it's fine, it is what it is, but it's not something that compels me to want to stay and continue honing my craft and continue working on things. And that's not to say that I don't get tired. Of course I get tired, but I have a strong sense of satisfaction at the end of every day.
Well, let's just hope so, Russ. No one wants to be creative or have their creative juices sucked out of them from corporate America. Creative people need to be set free, unleashed, let loose.
Indeed.
So when they let you watch, Knives Out, do they have like some theater room in this place, or like how were they able to like showcase the movie?
We do, yeah. We have a really, really cool sound system, and we have these really large screen TVs that are set up. The studio itself is still in the process of not being built necessarily, but like they're adding more and more on a weekly basis. And so that's another exciting aspect to it too, is the space is brand new. I think they probably moved into it, I want to say around October or November of last year. So it is very new. And I think in terms of the opportunity itself, I'm really excited and grateful that I was able to get in when I did, just because the team is still small-ish, comparatively speaking. A lot of these studios, when they've been around for a while, you can have anywhere between 300 to 500 employees. And so I think I was somewhere around, I think I was like employee number 46.
It's a good number. It's a good number, 46. You should get that tattooed, a fireball on your shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 46.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't suppose you recognize any faces over there, because I think wasn't 2K part of the umbrella for making Borderlands or that series?
That is correct. Yeah. So 2K is the publishing arm, and underneath their publishing umbrella, they have several studios. And it's kind of interesting how the whole hierarchy is set up, because you have Take-Two Interactive, which is actually the parent company of 2K, and then you have 2K that acts as the publisher / distributor for the various studios in their games. So yeah, when it comes to Borderlands 2, Borderlands 2 was developed by Gearbox Software, which has a relationship with 2K, and so 2K does all the publishing for them.
Gotcha. So what else can you tell us about the big day or anything else going on?
What else can I tell you? There was a great sense of jubilation. I will say that. I think that there is a collective sense of excitement about the opportunity of being able to come together and work for Mitochondria and work for this studio. But I also think too, when it comes to our unannounced IP, I think that that level of excitement also continues to grow. And I think as we continue iterating and honing on what it is that we're crafting, I think that continues to really just, I don't know, like you really see things take shape and take form, and I think that was on display even like when the studio turned 1, because I think there's so much work too in terms of logistics and just getting something like this off the ground that has nothing to do with game development at all. And I think that's a heavy lift. You have a lot of stuff that you have to do. You're trying to make sure that everything is accounted for. And I know that Michael, as well as John is he's kind of the chief operating officer here, and they just work tirelessly to make sure that this is a world-class studio, because that's precisely the goal. And it is in fact a world-class studio. It's amazing to me, like when I came to work here and they showed me the multimedia studio room that they had retrofitted for me as the multimedia lead. And I was floored. I came in and they had this dedicated room that had prime acoustic paneling already installed on the walls. They had the proper types of gear and stuff that, they had asked me what I was looking for. I had provided them a spec list of different things. Everything was accounted for. And I must say that is a rarity. That's a very rare thing to walk into a new job and have that level of meticulous attention be on display for every single position, not just mine, but like they have, to give you an idea, we have a sound designer who's starting next week, and they have two dedicated sound design rooms where they're going to be making all the sound effects and music and stuff for. And it's actually right across from where my room is. And it's exciting to be able to see how that's coming together.
So you get your own built-in, like, Pandora in a way, or Spotify from all the sound bleeding through the wall. So you're like, oh yeah, he missed that tune. Oh, he played it one more time, up an octave. Yeah, I can work under this. Okay.
It is funny because there's been a significant amount of construction work going on for multiple purposes throughout the studio, and so you do hear that sort of thing happening. But when it comes, I am for one curious, like when the sound guy gets here, am I going to be able to hear anything or not? Because they've also customized his room with all kinds of I don't even know like how they've gone about it, but they've specifically designed the room to optimize acoustics. And so there's a chance I may not hear a thing. It may, like when their door is shut, they may just be absolutely silent, or maybe I'll hear some like low bass hits or something like that. I have no idea.
Some thuds, people falling over.
What is happening?
Sounds like people are fighting in the other room.
You watch him like bring a wheelbarrow full of watermelons into the room. This is going to get messy.
Yeah, watermelons and a sledgehammer. Like, don't mind us. It's for the game. Okay.
I hope everybody's in the mood for watermelon after we're done with this.
I hope you all like fruit salad, because we're going to make some sound effects. Hope you're hungry.
Exactly. One of the nice things, too, I forgot to mention is that they had cake on the 1 year anniversary. They didn't have just one cake; they had 2 cakes, and both of those cakes were scrumptiddlyocious. One was a chocolate cake that I know you would be absolutely gaga for, and then the other one it's kind of it was a white cake, but it had like strawberries and like some sort of strawberry cream filling thing. It was also very, very tasty. So that was nice. It was a nice little addition to the champagne.
Did they put anything on like the top of the cake? Like they put any pictures or like the bear on top of the cake?
They did put the bear, and they also put the I think it was like happy 1 year anniversary, I think is what the text said on there.
Nice.
So that was really cool. And by the by, I would suggest to you as well as our listeners to, if you haven't already, I know, Steve, you said that you started following 31st Union on Facebook. But if you do so, there is going to be like a constant doling out of different assets, which actually that I will directly have a hand in, since I'm working with the head of strategy and communications here. Anytime you see pictures or video, it most likely was created by yours truly. So that's a fun way to kind of keep tabs on just what I'm up to in terms of the different types of content, really. So all the haters responding on Facebook, not like there are any, but all the haters, you're going to be sticking your tongue out at them and all responding with emojis. I take it. That's going to be you. No, I'm going to be ignoring them and instead, in fact, actually, if you go on to Twitter just today, if you go to @MichaelCondry, there is a video snippet that I produced for him. He wanted something that was appropriate for having a comment about just how he was feeling about the studio turning 1. So there's a short video clip of the champagne glasses I was describing to you. And it's from the footage that I captured during that day. So that is yet another visual to help kind of describe what it was that made up the second half of that day. So, but yeah, if you look also, like I posted today, you'll see some of the dev team swag. There's a little video clip snippet that went up. And so I certainly encourage you to check it out. And FY to the I believe if you want to find us on Twitter, I think it's 31 Union Official is what it goes by. And whereas if you're on Facebook, I think it's 31st Union Official, if I'm not mistaken. We're still trying to get that all, streamlined.
31 officials on the union. No, the union of 31. We're still ironing out the bugs. It's just type in 31st Union, the 31ST space UNION.
Now, let me ask you something, Steve. What do you think of the name 31st Union?
I think it's creative. I think it's a bit patriotic. It stands out among the other names. Like if you were to look at all the names under 2K, 31st Union does stand out. I mean, there's some other games, 2K Australia, 2K this, 2K that, and it definitely does stick out. I would figure it would be, well, I don't know, maybe this is my mind works, but I would think it would have like a more humorous kind of poppy name. But then again, that's more for maybe like a studio centered on more wacky, funny kind of games, not necessarily, Call of Duty shooting, exploding, blowing stuff up. So, anyhow, but yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah. And I know I talked to you a little bit about the significance of the name yesterday, and I don't believe I've said it yet on the program. Have I? I don't think I have. The significance of 31st Union comes from when California as a state actually joined the Union of the United States. And that was something that I think resonated a lot with Michael in the sense that he was born and raised in California. He loves the state. he loves everything that the state has to offer, and he wanted to have like a direct tie-in to the vibe and culture of the studio itself. And I thought that was really cool, and that's why our mascot is the face of the bear, because he wanted to have something that kind of tied into the state flag of California. If you recall, there's a grizzly bear that's on there, and so
I thought it was just Smokey the Bear saying only you could put out forest fires. He just took off his hat for you guys.
Hey, you know what? Maybe that it could be the brother of Smokey the Bear or a cousin or something like that. I don't know.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, there's been a lot of fires in California, so I mean, you know, one bear leads the other, you know, elbow nudge. Anyway,
exactly,
makes sense to me. Well, that's about all I have there for you, Russ.
All right. Well, I gotta say, it's been fun to be able to answer questions from you. We should do this more often. I find myself I'm enjoying the change up.
Oh boy. Well, I'm glad you found it refreshing.
I did. I did indeed. I suppose another fun question for you is, do you have any fun Valentine's Day plans with the wife?
Oh, man. So here's what I'm doing, because she's asleep right now. And what I'm going to do is I make holiday fudge, only I didn't make any this last holiday. And so she has been asking about it. And now since the holidays are gone, we started the new year. I think she's forgotten about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay up a little bit later and whip up a batch, and I'm going to present it to her in the morning. And I know she had a thought we were going to do a little bit of fondue type dinner thingy, and so I thought it might also be good to dip in the fondue.
Ooh, aren't you just fancy?
That's right. That's right, Rose.
Well, that's going to be fun. I'm going to be making my way over to Texas, and that will be the first time in 6 weeks that I'll be able to see my family, as well as maybe I'll bump into you and your wife as well. It'll be fun to be able to at least maybe grab a dinner or something. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to the weekend. I feel like it's the perfect time to be able to rekindle the spirit, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, did you buy your red satin robe and banana hammock there, Russ?
No, I'm the only kind of hammock that I'm looking forward to is being able to sleep in my own bed again. After 6 weeks of sleeping on a cot, you know, you're just kind of like, man, my back is so messed up. Like, I just want to be able to sleep in my own bed. And, you know, if there's some quality time that ensues, so be it. That will be lovely as well. But my goodness, it's the whole, like, having to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and work all day and then get home and eat dinner at 10 o'clock at night and go to bed at 10:30 and rinse and repeat. It's like, man, I'm looking forward to sleeping in and sleeping in my own bed. Not to mention sleeping with my wife.
And Russ wasn't seen by anyone all week.
Where'd he go? I don't know. That wraps up this episode of Joygasm. Make sure you tune in next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this episode, we invite you to check out patreon.com/Joygasm, which is spelled Joygasm, and consider becoming a monthly contributor. You'll get exclusive perks and early access to the show, not to mention it really helps us continue doing what we love to do. Also, you can follow us on social media and YouTube. Just do a search for Joygasm TV. Last but not least, search Joygasm TV on Twitch to see us stream our gaming adventures live every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. We will see you next week.